Hello, good evening. I'm Sean Green with the Lime Sports Roll. Begin with news of cricket. The West Indies have made some early inroads as they try to come back after a hard day one of their first test against New Zealand in Dunedin. New Zealand, there are 441 for 5. This is after they had to resume early this evening Barbados time on day 2 on 367 for 3 with Brandon McCullum on 109 and Ross Taylor on 103. While McCullum, he's gone for 113 bowled by Darren Sammy, while Tino Best gave Corey Anderson a duck. Now Taylor, however, he's still there on 141. Sammy has so far been the pick of the bowling, taking 2 for 79, Tino Best 2 for 101. Meanwhile, in related news, opener Craig Brathwaite is still very much in Barbados and not yet on the tour of New Zealand. Now, reports coming out of New Zealand had indicated that the Barbadian replacement for the injured Chris Gayle had arrived in Dunedin. However, Craig Brathwaite told Cbc Sports that he is still here waiting on a visa so he can travel to New Zealand. Well, there's some good news though. Brathwaite has been told that his visa is on the way. In more cricket news, the combined campuses and colleges are asking that the West Indies Cricket Board reverses the decision not to allow them to play in the upcoming Regional Super 50. But the WICB president says he's still saying no deal. Well, today at a media briefing at the 3Ws Oval, CCC players and management asked that the West Indies Cricket Board review their omission, with Captain Kyle Corbin and his teammates expressing the importance of the role they play in the mixture of sports and academics. However, WICB President Dave Cameron has told CBC Sports that due to a sports tourism initiative by the new sponsors, the CCCs are out, and that's not going to change. The new sponsor is the Trinidad and Tobago government, and that's a 3-year deal which is in place.
The government has decided to sponsor the tournament, and they wanted to make it commercially attractive for sports tourism. So the idea is, come for cricket, stay for carnival. Every year for the next 3 years, it's just before carnival, a couple of weeks before the carnival. And so at the last meeting, the board agreed that the CCC would not be invited to this year's tournament because we're going to invite 2 other teams outside of the region. And that's as simple as the case is.
The WICB president also made it clear where the CCC's place lies in regional cricket.
The CCC plays in our tournaments by invitation, and that is the situation. It's not necessarily a one-year thing. The CCC will be invited if and when we so choose. The CCC is not a part of West Indies Cricket Board structure. We have 6 shareholders, and those 6 shareholders are a permanent fixture. The CCC was an experiment and continues to be so. But what we've said, the 4-day tournament is our development area, and so for now we will keep the CCC as a part of that tournament.
Cheaters, beware. That's the warning coming from the World Anti-Doping Agency, currently in Barbados, to conduct a 2-day educational training workshop. Among the new punishments will be a doubling of the year's offenders will be banned from competition. In the advent of Jamaican athletes testing positive for banned substances, Director of Education and Program Development for the World Anti-Doping Agency, Rob Cooler, says that while he acknowledges that the Jamaican Anti-Doping Agency did indeed drop the ball regarding their testing of athletes, he refuses to give inside details on the ongoing case. But he said that WADA will be there to assist with revamping the process.
We received information about Jamaica that was very public, and we are here as an agency to ensure that every agency, including Jamaica, is delivering on their promises of the World Anti-Doping Code. They fall short of that. We are going to make sure that they pick up the programs and deliver what the expectations are. We've done it in other countries, and not to single out one, but there's many countries that we work with to try to elevate their level of detection, their level of education, and we'll continue to do that. And I'm not going to talk about ongoing cases either.
Cooler also spelled out a number of important changes to their code to protect the clean athletes come January 2015. These include a closer look at any entourage member who contributes to the athlete's use of drugs, with or without their knowledge. That trainer or coach will be suspended. WADA would also demand that all athletes refrain from associating with these banned coaches or trainers. Other new codes include mandatory investigations and educational programs, as well as 4-year bans for cheating athletes instead of 2. Regarding tomorrow's workshop, he added that the focus will be on education.
I want to stress, though, that testing is not the only way and the only thing that's needed. Detection is one method that also prevents the use of doping by testing athletes. But if we're really going to make a difference, and I think that's why we're here over the next 2 days, is more increased attention needs to be placed on education. We have, I consider, dropped the ball globally on preventing through education. More needs to be done, and as Adrian mentioned, it's quite fitting that the Caribbean RADA just came off an education symposiums throughout the Caribbean through a program funded by UNESCO. This is where we need the focus to go.
The sessions will be held at the courtyard at the Marriott from tomorrow. Now, staging this year's Lime Pelican Football Challenge wasn't easy, but organizers are pleased that the tournament was a success. Director of Lime Pelican Creative Services, MP Mia Montley, was giving her closing speech after the final on Independence Day, when LG Kick Strike Force defeated TS Strikers in the final at the National Stadium.
2013 has been a year where we have had to dig deep, dig very, very, very deep to keep this tournament alive. None of us will be surprised because of the economic environment within which we are functioning, but this is for us not just an investment for the future and a point as to where we can go if we hold the faith, but it is also a labor of love.
Meanwhile, Minister of Sport Stephen Lashley revealed that a major national junior tournament could be in the works.
We do plan to look a bit more to the juniors, and we've been talking to the Barbados Football Association along with the National Sports Council, and by extension to make an appeal to any sponsors who are interested. We need to push the juniors and have a national junior football tournament as well.
Local weightlifters Christian Payne and Chad Bradley Blackman are currently in Puerto Rico and will be representing Barbados in the Criolla Cup.
Right now I'm feeling in pretty good shape, and I'm just hoping to do my best.
Any areas that you think would be your strengths going into this?
Clean and jerk, that's my stronger area. The snatch, not so much, but I'm still hoping for the best, you know?
Well, I'm expecting to do well. I'm looking for 2 PBs in snatch and clean and jerk, totals of 80 and 105 kilograms.
Well, both young men will be joined by Commonwealth medalists Yvonne McNee and Brian Best.